Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store, our Kings. We're here with the return of OD back in Ghana, back in a boxing ring. Um, I've sort of seen your reasonings as to why you're coming back, but just for you to explain just to the fans why it was important for you to do this. Obviously, it's quite a unique venue. We don't hear about boxing much in Ghana, but this was special to you, wasn't it?
So with Ghana, obviously, it's where I'm from. It's where my parents are from. Even though I've been born and raised in London, my parents are from Ghana. I've got Ghanaian blood in me.
Mhm.
And so once this opportunity came up, to go and box out there, I felt a desire to go out there and to box and to take and to take part in this event because I believe that boxing in Ghana is the next. I feel like boxing in Ghana is the next thing to take Ghana out from where it's at and to put it back on the map and to put it on the radar. And a lot of the kids in Ghana, they all love the boxing. They all love it. And I feel like in Ghana, it's got some special talent there in boxing. But the only thing that's been missing is the opportunities. And I feel like if I can go out there and fight, and then if I can promote it more and help bring some awareness to boxing in Ghana, it could help the country as a whole.
Let me ask you, is this sort of one of the only things that could have brought you out from retirement? Because I remember after the Azim fight, you were very content. You were quite at peace. Look, but a lengthy career, done a lot of things, made good investments, etc. Quite happily retired. Is this one of the only kind of like situations where it could have
Yeah.
dragged you back, or have you had them feelings of, you know what, I need to get back somehow? What's been going on?
After the after the Adam Adin fight, I was really content. I said, you know what, I'm done. I made up my mind even before the fight. I told Lee about a month before that fight. I said to him, win, lose or draw, I'm done. But I feel like boxing in my parents' hometown is the only thing that could have brought me back. And I'm gonna have this fight, and then if I feel good, which I think I will feel good, I'm gonna give the boxing another go. But maybe just at a different weight class now.
I was going to ask you about that. So obviously, as you get older, your body matures, and you physically cannot make that weight, no matter how much you want to. You were making that weight for, I want to say, 8 years, 9 years, maybe more. And now, obviously, as you're at this stage, just in life in general, no one expects you to stay that way. So, are you excited for a camp, sort of, to training, knowing that you have got that bit of extra leeway, and to see how that power maybe translates into a weight class?
Absolutely. 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 Yeah, like in boxing, in my last 3 or 4 fights, I found the weight really hard. As I said, I've been making this weight for 8.5 years now. And I found it really hard, especially in my last 3 or 4 fights. And it got to a point where the boxing, it wasn't enjoyable no more because I'm thinking I've got to starve myself. I've got to be tired. I've got to train. I've got to go out and be dehydrated. And then I've got a short time to try and get my energy back and get my strength back. And then I've got to fight. Having that weight off my shoulders now is it just makes it a lot more fun to train because I know I ain't got to starve myself. I've got to train, I've got to work hard, and then I'm gonna feel good all through camp. I'm not gonna be weak, towards the end of camp, and then I'm gonna go out there and fight. Even though I might be fighting someone that's a bit bigger than the opponents that I would usually fight, I'm also gonna be bigger, and I'm also gonna be a little bit stronger as well. So I've also got some benefits. So inspiring. It's been looking good. I've been doing sparring 6 rounds, 8 rounds here and there. The weight is coming off, slowly but surely.
Hmm. What's your training team? What's your setup going to be for this fight?
So I've got Martin Malcolmson as a coach. I've also got Junior Saba as my coach. A lot of these guys are not really that known yet, but I feel like my as my boxing career unfolds, if I get where I'm meant to get to, their names are going to be in the map.
Obviously, this is an Amir Khan venture. This promotion. How much was sort of he a big influence? Because obviously he's making big waves and wanting to try and do things like this. And I know how important it is for, especially you mentioned yourself and your parents were from Ghana. How big of an influence was it the fact that Amir Khan is behind this to help bring you back as well?
Amir Khan is a boxing legend. Amir Khan, someone that I've always looked up to. Amir Khan was the first ever famous boxer that I met. I remember being an amateur when I just got into boxing. We had a training camp one time in Manchester. I still got the video of it somewhere. It's from 2007. And when everyone met Amir Khan, I was like, whoa. Like I've never met anyone that's on the TV, never met anyone known, anyone famous. And then I met Amir Khan, and then I got a picture of him. And I remember I didn't wash that shirt for about 3, 4 months. I trained in it. I didn't wash that shirt because Amir Khan touched the shirt, and I was like, wow. And I've always looked up to him ever since I was a kid. And to fight on his show as well, it means a lot to me.
Absolutely. If this fight does go to plan, I feel like everyone's moving to welterweight. I think slowly but surely they obviously the heavyweight's always been that money division, and then a little bit further down the Canelo weight classes up and down. But I feel like everyone's sort of going to welterweight at this point. Do you look at that division now and see some of the names and go, you know what?
Even
Providing
though
this goes well, we don't want to look too far. There could be some big fights there for you.
even though this fight is at welterweight, I think you'll most probably see me at light middleweight.
What?
That's where I think you'll most probably see me because I'm not I'm not gonna struggle to make weight anymore. If I find the weight hard in this next fight, I'm going up to light middleweight, and I feel like the better I feel is the better I'm gonna perform. It's not about the size of the man; it's about the size of the heart. And I feel like me, if I feel good, if I feel strong,
Mhm.
that's the only thing that matters to me. I can perform my best.
Speaking of someone who's just moved to that weight division, he's fighting this weekend in Josh Taylor. If you do feel good at 147, you never know. Stars might align. You might get a run that back.
Yeah, if that happens, it happens, but it's nothing that I'm looking at right
Oh,
now
no,
because listen, he's got a hard fight. He's got a hard fight this weekend. Echo Uzman ain't no bum. Echo Uzman is a good fighter in his prime, and Taylor's not in his prime right now. He's long past his prime. So so we got to see how that fight goes, and then see how my next few fight goes, and then if the stars align, then it'll be a rematch.
Before I let you go, I want to touch on this. It's something that I saw you mention a little bit on Talksport, and I spoke to Gareth A. Davis about this yesterday, and he brought it up. So I want to hear it from you, the horse's mouth. Talk to me about this program you're doing in the prisons and how you're helping people, because
Yeah.
we see a lot of stuff online over the years, and I want to sort of promote this side and see, what it is you're actually doing and how that can help.
Yeah. It's to be honest, it was after my first one that I did on Talksport. I got approached by a few journalists, and then one prison officer approached me, or someone that works in the prison, approached me, and then they invited me to go to the prison and to speak to some of the kids in the jail. Everyone was there for life and for murder, so it was one of them. It was one of those jails, and even though they're there for life, life doesn't mean life. It might mean a long time, but eventually they're gonna come out of jail. And what I really wanted to do was to bring some boxing into the prisons to see if I can do a few boxing lessons there, get some pads and some gloves and just help to give them something to do because these guys are one day gonna get out of jail. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. And through the boxing, it can be used to keep their mind focused on a goal, on a task, to show them, listen, hard work pays off.
Hmm.
If you're not bringing any activities, like to these jails, then they're gonna get out of jail and end up doing the same old stuff that they used to do. Just like me, I was in a youth club. I was on bail, class A drugs, attempted murder, and then they bring a boxing coach there. And through that one coach that came, it changed my life. It's the only reason that I'm here now. I didn't go to jail, luckily, because that coach came to the court with me and he begged the judge to not send me to jail. He begged that judge. And it's only because of that that I'm here. And I want to see if I can replicate the same thing and just if I can change one life. If I can change that one life, that can be two lives that can be saved. That one person, it might stop him from going out there and then killing two people. So, I've got a desire in my heart to help the youths and, to help make some change.
Brilliant. Look, I think that's a perfect way to end. Look, we look forward to seeing you back doing your thing. Unique event in Ghana, Amir Khan Promotions, Odie at a new weight class. And look, we'll see where it goes. Appreciate you jumping on anyway.
Thanks so much for having me.
No problem.